gentlemen, boys and girls, what is going on? It's your boy, the Prince About Yourself, Dwayne, back with yet another episode, part two. That's right, part two of Honor of Black History Month. You already know what it is. Welcome to the Black History edition of Life's a Botch podcast. This week, I have my oos. You already know my oos with the juice coming out of Memphis, Tennessee. My little brother, my brother from another, my man, Darron Fally. What's up, brother? How you
What's
doing?
going on? What's going on, bro? I'm good. Oops, about you.
Yeah, doing great, man. It's been a long time, man. Haven't had you on since I think it was like episode 2, 3 of this podcast, man.
Yes,
It's
sir.
good to
That was
have you
two
back
years
on.
ago. Yes, sir. It feels good to be back. It's a lot of growth. I see you
Yes.
moving, man. I'm so proud of you. I keep up
Yes, yes.
every day, man. I'm so
Like
proud of you, man.
likewise with you, my friend, and again, just great to have you back. This was definitely a special episode that I wanted to bring you a part of because I know how much of a great wrestling fan you are. So this was definitely a must-have to have you on for this episode. So let's get right into this thing, man. And I'm gonna ask you the same questions that I asked on part one. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is part two. Again, if you're new listening to this, then first and foremost, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Second of all, make sure you check out if you haven't really checked out part one. Stop, pause this episode, go listen to part one featuring my boy Josh Gresham from Gresham Unleashed podcast, and check out part one of the series for Black History Month, where I have a sit down with individuals and I asked them about their personal influences of black wrestlers and who influenced them, both past, present, and future. So that being said, I'll give y'all a moment to do that. All right, that's enough. So now that we back, back to my little brother Darron, sir. Let me ask you this number one question in honor of Black History Month and Black History and wrestling history. Who are some black wrestlers? You know, you don't have to name them. You know, just the main ones that stand out to you, that personally influenced and impacted you as a wrestling fan.
So, of course, we got to go with the very first Black World Heavyweight Champion of WCW. For me, Ron Simmons. It was
Mm.
just that to see that transition of
Mm-hmm.
what he done in WCW, and also how he helped elevate people in the Nation of Domination, the WWE.
Yes.
Um, it was just like his career. I feel like it doesn't, it doesn't get the recognition that as it deserves. People
Mm.
talk about here and there, how they
Yeah.
on like he went down to one word to damn and all that, but
Yeah.
I feel like it should get more recognition. Of course,
Yeah.
um, Booker T, that like
Okay.
the
Okay.
five-time WCW World Champion in Booker career. It just you could say
Mm-hmm.
a lot, about his career. It's one thing you can't take away that the brother was charismatic. He was
Mm-hmm.
awesome and dope in that ring.
Yes.
JTG, that was a hidden gem to me,
Come on. Oh,
a
love it.
hidden gem, and I feel like now what he's doing in the independent circuit,
Mm-hmm.
people is realizing, wow, like he could have been something big in the WWE. Like
Yes.
the way
Yes.
he moved, just his knowledge. Like I go back and watch
Mm.
his interviews and just him talk. See, people
Yeah.
so used to that, yeah, 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 crime time, yeah, 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 yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But when he
Come on.
talk, he's so like deep into it. It's
Come
like
on.
it's like he could create a masterpiece if you just listen to what he taught. So I just think
Yes.
it's dope. And also the Godfather, like just the different characters he went through in the WWE and just his history in Memphis wrestling with the
Mm-hmm.
Undertaker. It just those guys are the one I was like, whoa, wait a minute. And
Yeah.
and Kofi Kingston can't take that away. Kofi
Mm-hmm.
was like I was so honored and happy to watch WrestleMania to see him win the WWE Championship, and that what really helped me when I was training to be a wrestler. Like Kofi did it, he paved the way. You know what I mean? Like for the WWE Championship, I know people say yeah, Booker, Mark Henry, World Heavyweight title, but no, the WWE Championship, like the
Mm-hmm.
homegrown title,
Yeah.
that was just awesome to see. And of course, The Rock, Mark Henry, all those guys, the guys just inspired me because even though they were different sizes and different style of characters, I still
Hmm.
saw me in them. You
Yes,
know, especially
brother.
as being a wrestling fan. You know, in my generation is you still watch that, you
Hmm.
still enjoy that. It's like they would never understand the happiness wrestling brought me. So
Yes. Come on.
it's just an honor just to talk about the black wrestlers who paved the
Yes.
way and who sacrificed their lives for us. Like it's just awesome, man. It's an honor to talk about it with you because you know I
Hmm.
massive love for professional wrestling
Absolutely.
and I think it's so dope.
Let me ask you this then, my friend, and I totally agree with you because all of those were great answers.
Mm.
Let me ask you off top, why was it so important, or why do you think it's so important to see the success or to have seen the success of so many black wrestlers throughout the time, through all these professions, WCW, Impact Wrestling, WWE, through every promotion, just the wrestling business as a whole. As a black man, how important has it personally been to you to see black wrestlers make so much history?
It's I think back as a little kid to see like especially when they win championships, they just even without the championship when they would just win a match,
Hmm.
it just shows you that no matter what you could be a champion, no matter
Hmm.
what you do. It could even if it's outside of wrestling, it could be with music, acting, or just helping out in the community. No matter what, you could be a champion, and just to see them. And I also know the story, bad guy versus good guy, and
Come on.
they always overcome the bad guy. I just think we need those positive role models, and also it's just dope to see black men represent our community no matter what they do, and
Hmm.
see them to be so successful in it. It just shows us little black kids, even adults, that you
Hmm.
can do it no matter
Yes.
what. Just don't give up, and that's why I love Mark Henry's story,
Hmm.
how he wanted to give up and everything, but he didn't. He
Yeah,
didn't. It might took him years on to get to the World Heavyweight Championship status, but he did it, and I
he did it.
respect it. And The
Yes.
Rock, like I had my opinions on the on The Rock, but with the fact that he look where he came from. He came from a great wrestling family, but a lot of people didn't know he was broke. He was
Hmm.
struggling. The Rocky Maivia character wasn't working. He didn't know what he
Hmm.
was gonna do, and but he didn't give up. Now look at him. When you think of WWE, first name you're gonna probably most likely think of The Rock. You know what I mean? For black
Hmm.
wrestlers, you go The Rock, and that he's one of the highest paid actors. Like I look at him and say, never give up. So
Come on, man.
to see that it makes me it pushed me because you never know who it might be a younger wrestling fan just like me love black wrestlers but they won't want to speak out because they feel weird and
Hmm.
they're gonna get judged. I'm like, if I could say something to them, I'm like, don't look at me and look at them. What's the
Hmm.
one thing we're not afraid to do? Show our love for it and look at their success. Their success comes from something that they love. Don't let
Yes.
nobody stop you for doing something that you love. You know what I mean?
Come on.
That's why those guys, bro, like they are everything to me, no matter what. Like
Yes.
those black wrestlers, like I thank them so much because they just did a lot for the black community, and I
Come on.
hope they really know that. You know what I'm saying? In the black
Yeah.
community, wrestling is really not the big thing for us. So to see
Yes.
them to be so successful, it just help us to express our love more. It make us
Yes.
come out and proudly say thank you. You know what I mean?
Yes. I love it, brother. And you are so absolutely right about that. And that's why, again, to those listening, this is a very important series because it's not just about the fact that this is Black History Month, but also just highlighting what you don't always see. Because with the WWE, a lot of times you see some of the same old ones that they highlight, and so
Mm-hmm.
I had to do this series specifically because there's so many black wrestlers out there, from the WWE, and again, all promotions from WCW, Impact Wrestling, Ring of Honor, you name it, MLW. I mean, just there's so many black wrestlers, up and coming, past, present, and future, which now allows me to ask you this question: in how do you feel about the evolution of the black wrestler today from all of who was paved in the past? So, with the names that you just mentioned, let's take a walk into the future. And how do you feel the evolution of black wrestlers in the wrestling business? How far have we come since the starting days of when Ron Simmons was the guy in the business where a lot of men of color weren't wrestling back then?
I feel like we seen a lot of improvement. And just outside of WWE, because I know WWE have crappy storylines for some of the black wrestlers, but like in
Mm-hmm.
ring ability, like you have Keith Lee,
Mm-hmm.
Shane Strickland, like oh you got
Yes.
Ricochet, you got all those incredible talent in the ring, and just think about back then you didn't see a lot of black wrestlers back those
Mm-hmm.
days. So
Yeah.
to see that, let's go back. You got Rich Swann in
Mm-hmm.
Impact. You got all these different black wrestlers who are really changing the game and also been champions. And you
Yes.
know, it was rare to see a lot of black champions in different companies. Very
Yes.
rare. So it's dope to see that. That's why I'm really pushing like WWE wise. I'm pushing for Keith Lee. Like
Mm-hmm.
that brother, it's just his size. When you look at him, you think of this. How I look at Keith Lee: size, Mark Henry.
Mm.
Okay, you got my
Come on.
charismatic. Throw in The Rock. You know what I
Mm.
mean? In
Mm-hmm.
ring ability, it's just Booker T. Like to me on certain moves he do, I'm like, wow, I can
Mm-hmm.
see Booker doing. It's like the evolution of black wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
You can't deny it. It's like I really hope the former black wrestlers they are really enjoying it because it's you can see they took things from them
Mm-hmm.
and just upgraded it. And like Ricochet, he's my
Yes.
favorite. He's
Yes.
my favorite right now on the main roster. I really wish Vince would like use him more.
Mm-hmm.
But to see the like, just think about it. Just look at the talent. Like Shane, like NXT. I feel like he should
Yes.
be pushed more. You know, I know he go back and forth to NXT or 12-5 live, but look at his
Yeah.
independent work. You know what I mean?
Oh
He
yeah.
took he took an old 70 song and made it over with the wrestling crowd. You know what I mean? And they were
Yes.
literally singing the song when he was walking out. To see that back then, a lot of people. I no disrespect. I love Crime Time, all my heart. Long live Shad. But it was times where they would come out and people was hardly cheering for them until they really got over and over the little different segments and stuff. Not only that,
Mm-hmm.
Shelton Benjamin, he wasn't getting some reaction.
Mm-hmm.
MVP, I feel like MVP was the one of the black wrestlers who slowly started like making the crowd pay attention. Like, hey, I'm in here. You gonna notice me. But to see how it used to be back then, now like Ricochet probably one of the most over wrestlers on the main roster with Keith Lee, like in
Mm-hmm.
the black community. Like not even that, just let's throw that grace out of it. Keith,
Mm-hmm.
I bet right now we had an arena full of fans. If
Mm-hmm.
Keith Lee and Ricochet just music hit, it'll be a crazy pop. And to see that, because I remember I watched a old clip from I think it was from 98, 97. I can't remember. I think this was right before Ron Simmons got into the APA.
Mm-hmm.
I know it was right at the Nation of Domination. He walked out. It wasn't no reaction. And as a fan, they hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they didn't take him serious. I don't know if it was a race thing or what, but it just hurt me because of like y'all must don't realize the work he had in WCW, the work he just got finished doing with Nation of Domination. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad to see that like wrestlers now, like I feel like any black wrestler, like if you got that in ring talent, it's appreciated more now. If that makes
Yes.
sense, if you can get where I'm coming from, I feel like it's appreciated now a lot. And I know a lot of people talk about the flips and the tricks and super kick this, DDT this, but you can't take it away. Those brothers are killing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like go back to Ricochet. I just sit back and say I just sit there and look at him and be like, I would never imagine this when I was 10 years old. Like I never
Yes.
imagined see a wrestler like just of my color
Come on,
coming
man.
out. You know, we used to Rey Mysterio, Eddie
Mm-hmm.
Guerrero, Evan Bourne doing stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody like me can do that, bro. Like that's it right there. This just show that we
Yes.
we got all types of wrestling in us. technical,
Hmm.
brutal force, acrobat. It's just dope. It's like
Yes.
the evolution of wrestling for black wrestlers is you can't deny it. You
Yes.
can't. You
You
gotta.
can't.
If somebody try to deny it, they just living in the past because you can't deny it, bro.
I love it. I love it. And that is such an accurate description to where it leads me to one of my final questions for you. When we talk about Black history, we've touched a lot on the men, but we haven't had a chance to really salute the women just yet because again, this is Black
Mm-hmm.
history. So let's also talk about the evolution of the Black woman wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, for example, how important or how great of a moment was it for you to witness a young up and coming black woman in Bianca Belair make history by being the first black woman to win the women's Royal Rumble and
That was
go to
dope.
main event WrestleMania? Like, how does that feel to you?
I just think about the little black girls who was watching. They could show them that ladies you could do anything you put your mind to. Actually, what her father did on their video, him falling off the couch and everything, I was literally laying down, just like biting my nails. I'm like, who's gonna win this? When she threw Rhea Ripley over the top, I was just like, oh my god! Like I was
Yeah.
so excited for her because look at her success. Like
Hmm.
she took NXT over like a storm. It was like, and first I'm not. I'm gonna admit I didn't really notice her like that at first.
Hmm.
And I admit that, but the more and more I started watching her, the more and more I started following her on social media,
Hmm.
I was like, she is the total package. And to see her, hopefully she chooses Sasha Banks. But if
Hmm.
that's her decision, to see her and Sasha Banks be one of the main events of WrestleMania,
Hmm.
they can't come so far. I know people talk about, yeah, Becky Lynch, Ronda Rousey, and Charlotte main event WrestleMania. No, let's go outside of that.
Yes.
Let's think about the history of black women, right? On the people I could think of were Jacqueline and Jazz,
Hmm.
and they barely gave them time.
Hmm.
And Jazz was one of the most dominant. Matter of fact, that's who Bianca Belair reminds me of, a younger Jazz. Just think
Hmm.
about the strength, the speed, and everything. But to see that, it was like, wow, it's just paving the way. And then
Yes.
it made me think more. I think deeper. Okay, Naomi got an opportunity to win.
Yes.
Okay, they say if Sasha drops the belt, Sasha
Hmm.
got the opportunity to win. Ember Moon, if she decided to go back to the main roster, Ember Moon can win the belt. So this one
Hmm.
I'm thinking more, and it's so awesome, bro. It's
Yes.
I was literally about to cry, and I'm so happy for Bianca Belair. I just pray for a whole lot of success for her because I feel like she would become the face of the WWE.
Hmm.
And like go back, little black girls, once they see that, that's a movement right there to me. That's what I
It
think about.
is.
That's what I'm
It
thinking
is.
about. Every time I think about black wrestlers, I think movement. That's the word I've been thinking about ever since we came in contact about this idea. Movement. It goes
Hmm.
down tradition. One person watch it, another person study, upgrade it. It's like back to basketball. Kobe
Come on.
studied Michael Jordan.
Yes.
Kobe upgraded what Michael Jordan he learned from Michael, and he turned into his own to the black marble.
Hmm.
Okay, LeBron studied Kobe and Jordan. Look at now, King James. So just imagine who's watching Bianca Belair right now. Imagine who's watching Sasha Banks right now. Let's
Hmm.
go to Naomi. Imagine who's watching Naomi right now. So
Oh
you
yeah.
never know.
You
Like
never know.
it's gonna start a movement. You're just gonna see a wave of other black women just stepping up. And sometimes I wonder how Jazz feel about it. Cause just like her think about her era.
Yeah.
She talked about it before. I think during her days at ECW, people didn't want to take her serious. Even when she came into WWE, if I'm wrong, I apologize. But I remember hearing her saying in the interview that people didn't want to take her serious because she was a black woman. So I just
Mm.
want to know what's going through her mind now to see Bianca Belair win the
Hmm.
Royal Rumble. Sasha Banks being one of the many faces of the women
Yes.
division. There's no thing. That's just that movement. It's movement.
Yes.
It's just I just hope more little black girls who are wrestling fans, or not even that, just anything, because I feel like black women in general they get talked down in any sports they want to do,
Mm-hmm.
anything, basketball, tennis, wrestling, anything. So I just really hope this shows them that you could be the face of that sport.
I love it, man. And I have to 100% agree with you because, again, while we're on the subject of the women, I guess I would close it out by asking: is there a woman wrestler, much like with the males? Was there one in particular that mostly stood out to you from past to present? Is there one African American wrestler, female wrestler, that stood out most to you? Also, to tie into that influence.
Okay, so I'm gonna do it like different eras. For one, Jazz, cause Jazz
Mm-hmm.
was just like a beast. Like I remember when I first seen her. Actually, this is how I first seen Jazz. It was a WrestleMania 21 video game. That's how I
Mm-hmm.
first seen her music stood out to me, and I
Mm-hmm.
decided to study more on her.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started watching like her ECW clips, Memphis Wrestling clips, of
Mm-hmm.
course her WWE run, it was just like I wish she had done more in her career. Like WWE was, I wish they would have done more with her.
Yes.
Alicia Fox slept on.
Yes.
Most slept on wrestler. I think because people didn't take the Divas era seriously. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like she was one of the women who was in that Divas era was really a woman's wrestler to me.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Um, Ember Moon, Sasha, Bianca Belair. It's just those are the women who standing out to me a lot. Kiera Hogan in Impact.
Mm-hmm.
Like
For
that's
sure.
just dope to me. Like those ladies are tearing down the house, and I really wish they get more recognition. You know, they get it. You know, they got their fan base. But no,
Yeah.
when I think about women's wrestling, I want to get as much praise as the men. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? I know they said something that they throwing in there. No, like I feel like the women they should have as much because they are superstars too. They put their bodies on the line. Even worse because
Yes.
like they carry kids if they decide to have one. So that's
Mm-hmm.
really damaging to their bodies too. So I feel like
Yes.
they need more recognition, more support. I feel like that's why I thank God for the give women's a chance movement because they
Mm-hmm.
deserve it, especially black women. Like I
Yeah.
really was like Naomi. I'm so stoked that she getting TV time. I really
Yeah.
wish it was more solo, but you get what you get. You know,
Get
you
what you
upgrade
get.
from you get what you
Yeah.
get. Amber, she getting more TV time. Again, Big Uncle Belair, she is literally one of the main storylines that's going on right now. And I
Yes.
really hope they don't. My biggest fear that she win the title. If she wins the title, whatever title she decided to choose, she wins it or lose it. My fear is that she gonna go down,
Mm-hmm.
go down. That's my biggest fear because it happened with Oscar for a little minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, and especially around this time now, I feel like not just throw raising in it, but I feel like black women, great athletes. I can understand she wasn't a great athlete, a great speaker, and I feel like she
Mm-hmm.
just need all the recognition right now because honestly, let's say if Sasha Banks retires right now,
Mm-hmm.
and Ramon retires right now, Bianca Belair is that future of the company. That's the face of the company right there. So I really hope they don't blow it. That's the face of the company for the next 10 years.
Yes. I totally agree. And man, brother, honestly, you definitely have given a lot of dope insight. And again, to hear your personal story and background on how you feel and the black wrestlers that have inspired you personally, just go to show that yet again, this is why this was very important to cover. And again, guys, this is literally just part two. We still have two more to go within this month. I'm going to drop an episode a week for you guys. And also, just in case you didn't know, make sure you tune in to my Instagram on Life's a Botch podcast because I am going to highlight every important black wrestler that I've had the opportunity to have right here on the show so that you guys can revisit those in honor of Black History Month. So I definitely want you guys, if you haven't already, go back, check out some of the dopest episodes from Trisha Dora, up and coming indie black wrestler. Check out the episode with Ron the True Killings. Check out the episode with The Godfather. Check out the episodes with so many people, Elijah Burke, and so many people that I've had the opportunity to have right on this show to talk about Black wrestlers and Black History Month, because again, it is very important to remember the history and the evolution of the business, which is very, very important, very significant, very special. And as Black men, Black children, Black husbands, Black brothers, you name it, however you want to label it, we all enjoy wrestling just as much as everybody else. But it's something special about when we see people who look like us succeed, climb the ladder, take it to the system, don't have the prototypical look that, the business says you have to have, and they succeed. And that is what we are very happy with. So, real quick, Darren, go ahead and tell the people where they can follow you and keep up with you, good sir.
Well, you can always follow me on Vibing with the 90s on Instagram. You can message me about anything you like. You can also, if you have a Facebook, my Facebook page is Darron Tramont, Tramont. And guys, listen, if you ever want to talk about anything with me, you're more than welcome. I'm very friendly. I love interacting with people, especially wrestling fans. So
Yes.
if you're a rock fan, I got to debate with you about a little something, something.
This is true. This is no lie, ladies and gentlemen. But still, all in all, check out this man's skits as well when you get a chance, man. My little brother is putting out a lot of amazing, funny, hilarious skits for you guys. This man is doing a lot of cool things and exciting things, always putting things out for you guys, and working on some few other projects in the future as well. So, y'all be on the lookout for my little bro Darren, man. Follow him, reach out to him, let him know what you thought about his perspective on influential Black wrestlers in his life, and what he thinks of the future of Black wrestling as well. And again, shout out to OTS for always bringing this platform to life, bringing this very show that you guys love oh so much. Your boy is always here. I know I sound a little chill. Y'all know I'm a little more charismatic than this, but I still got this new mic and I can't really yell as much as I want to because then it's going to distort, and I don't want y'all to distort out. So, you know what I'm saying? I know y'all can still feel the personality. It's all good. But, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say thank y'all so much for rocking with your boy. Don't forget, we are on the road to 50 episodes. We are almost there. And just understand that when we get to episode number 50, it is going to be a best of episode. So, for my new listeners or for people who have been on this journey with me, this is a chance to look back at the previous 50 episodes at that mark to show you some of the best interviews so far to date, and looking forward to the future of what we're going to have when we get to 100 episodes and 1,000 episodes and so many more from there. But ladies and gentlemen, I just want to thank you guys for rocking with me, rocking with this show. We're ranking, we're looking good. You guys, I owe a lot of that to. Thank you so much for your reviews. Thank you for ranking the show. Thank you for allowing this show to be related. I will never forget when I saw this show on Apple Podcasts, and right underneath related to was Chris Jericho's podcast. And I said, yes, we're doing something. When you see Chris Jericho's podcast show up right below and related, so that tells me we are definitely on the way. And I say we, not just me. I'm talking about you guys. So without further ado, make sure you guys tune in next week because I got a very special guest that's going to come and give his take. And I know y'all don't want to miss my brother on that one. So until the next time, you already know where to follow your boy. Follow me on Instagram at Dwayne Dickey Jr. You can follow the Life's a Botch podcast on Instagram as well at Life's a Botch podcast. And also make sure you follow OTS guys so that you can check out not just this show, but every other show that is under this very media production. Okay, so follow all things at OTS Guys on Twitter and Instagram. Check out the website www.otsguys.com. And yeah, Until the next time, like I said, we're working on more interviews for you in the future. Y'all stay tuned. In the meantime, I gotta say this one thing, and my brother gonna agree with me. Y'all be easy, and as my new catchphrase goes, to sweet peace. Yeah, let's get
Ooh, sweet.
it.